Alright, how's it going, you guys? We're playing some more Kinkoi. I'm gonna pour myself some more Coke before we start, because this is gonna be a good episode, and I need something to drink, okay? We just had a lovely date out by Lake Hamamatsu. That was nice. Got to have some sweets, something we've been needing since Ayaka just keeps us in our room. And we are deprived, which I can say that I am not. I just ate an entire pizza before, you know, sitting down to play, and now I got a second Coke because I need a second Coke. But good morning, Kikuchiyo. It actually is morning for me, so this is very much a good morning. Sup. I love our dignified response for such an elegant school. Just sup.
何か悩んでらっしゃいますか?
Something bothering me? Yeah. Hey, Kikuchiyo, are you familiar with how H sounds?
は? 詳しいと言われましてもそんな。いえ、その人並みの知識がないと言えば嘘になりますが。
Are we talking about the letter H, or are we talking about hentai? Like, like, why the complicated answer here? What do you think about it?
嫌いではないです。
Could you give me some examples then?
は?
Try and give me a few examples real quick.
気持ちいいとか。もうダメとか。
Can't take it anymore. What the heck? Where did that come from?
何ですか? 何なんですか? エッチを口に出せって。
He kind of snapped. I didn't really get what ticked off Nobles. I wanted to know how to pronounce H as a vowel. I've seen copy pasta that says you don't pronounce it in French. Was that true? There were English words like night and hour where you didn't pronounce the H.
エッチの発音? ああ、そういうこと。
Brother, what are we doing here?
言語はその文化の変遷からフランス語に限らず様々な地域の影響を受けます。島国の日本ですら漢字が入っているように。フランス語はラテン、ギリシア、ローマなどですね。そのため僕と発音に差異のある言葉は多いですよ。語源がどこにあるかまでは知りませんが、綴りからそのまま発音を導き出すのは日本語の感覚では難しいと思います。
That's so, thank you. So it could happen then. This Ora Hora could be read like Ora Ora. Ora Ora.
もう質問ははっきりとしてください。いらない恥をかいた。
I think you did that of your own volition, okay? You totally set yourself up for that one if you ask me. That's what I'm saying. I guess even a guy like you who gets riled up over a single set of boobs knows about the basics when it comes to sex.
はしゃいでませんよ。
Also that I can't take it anymore part. Are you that far gone?
もうやめてください。
He looked like he was about to cry. Oh well, better not push him any further. Till next time. Ohayo. Whoa, yeah, morning.
どうしたの? 何か私に聞かせたくないお話?
How do you know that? How? It's not like that. Kikuchiyo here was just talking about how he can't take it anymore during sexy times. Okay, to be fair, he brought that up. That wasn't actually our fault this time. For once, I think we are in the clear as our protagonists. Sorry, the two of them stopped me.
よくわからないけど。昨日は楽しかったね。
No, don't say that. He doesn't have context. Oh yeah, same here. He needs something really tasty. I'd been a major psychological boost. I felt much better today compared to how depressed I was yesterday.
何? じっと見て。顔に何かついてる?
Your eyes, mouth, and nose. How observant.
何それ?
Sylvie giggled. I made up for my renewed good mood by finding a share of other worries, but, well then, how to handle this?
昭和のナンパ師みたいなやつ発見。シルビー様をナンパだと?
Are we picking up on her? I don't think so. I think we're just good friends right now. But that could change. It's not like that. Yeah, I could probably make do in this school. Would I find my answer soon? Hopefully before the next problem came up. Yeah. Let's go! Ayaka! It appears driving out was the only option. No, you can't drive me out. You can't. The only thing that's going to be driven out is your boobs out of that shirt. Because they literally look like they're about to explode. I want to make an enemy of Cruz Crown. Ah, it's Mina.
シルビー姉様があんな下郎風情にああも肩入れするのでしょう。わからない。けれど、放ってはおけませんわね。
I really need to know now. So, it seems like the fan disc has routes that aren't covered in this. So we're gonna have like a few main routes, and then I don't know if the fan disc is purely gonna include like routes for the other girls who didn't get one, or if it's gonna like also have routes in addition to the routes here, if that makes sense. Like it's gonna cover some of the same girls and they're gonna have another route. I don't know. Either way, I'll find out eventually.
シルビー姉様の身に何かあれば。
Because I want to know, is Mina gonna have one? There's a few characters who I already know Ayaka doesn't get one until afterwards, but I want to know, is Mina gonna get one?
ソルティレージュ全体を揺るがすことになりますわ。
Oh, I just got a picture of my daughter from school. That would rock Sortilege to its core.
仲のいいことだ。
Ah, it's Rhea. Sure, close. Like, she better get a route in here, right? Like, they're not gonna push her route
私が見て
back.
きた限りでは、今日一日おかしなことはありませんでした。油断は禁物。でも、おかしな素振りは何もありませんでしたよ。それがあいつの手なのよ。紳士のふりで油断させておいて、後ろからパクッと食べられちゃうわよ。
I swear, one of these, I don't remember which one. It better not be girl A talking about let's castrate him. I'm like,
ドン引き。とにかく、このままじゃまだみんな安心できない。
or I could see it being third year girl B.
みたいだね。あかね、悪いけど、もう少しわかりました。お任せください。
She's just having a good time, you know, getting to know us. Even though some of her questions are a little intrusive. I'll say that. It's been a few days since I enrolled at Noble Academy. I had finally gotten used to my life here. The largest factor was committing the different time slots of the dorm to memory. I was met with icy glares if I failed to abide by Jogasaki's request to keep away from the foyer, but little by little I was starting to figure out the different times of day I could come out. To be specific, 6 a.m. to 7:30 a.m., and then anytime after 9 p.m. was okay. Practically nobody was around at those hours. Unfortunately, I couldn't use the convenience store cafe, which was open from 8 to 9 p.m. I had a necessity to avoid people, but I could at least use the vending machines. Occasionally run into a couple of dorm mates late at night, but I'd yet to hear a single complaint about those encounters, since they knew I was complying with my house arrest. Which, there's no basis for, by the way. Just the fact that they think this is a girl's dorm. Nobody was nasty enough to get out of their way to remind me not to come out, for the most part. Hello. There was even those who'd greet me. The vast majority of the dorm had been under Jogasaki's influence, but didn't appear to be unanimous. I would love to see... Okay, I wouldn't actually, but it would be nice if there's just a H scene later in her route where we just give it to her, you know? I know that's bad to say, but I just want one where we just like completely like put her in her place, because she deserves it. And that would be the only time we would get to do that, is in an H scene. Obviously, I don't watch the H scenes, so I'm not gonna worry about it. But if there is one, I'm smiling on the inside about it. Ohio Akane-chan.
今日も気合い入れて頑張りましょうね。
Sorry, my phone keeps going off. It's very distracting. But it's cute pictures of my daughter at school, so I'd love to see those. She's having a fun day. Even though it's kind of rainy outside. They're still outside anyways. There was those who had accepted me as a fellow dorm mate.
あんまり近づかない
Ah, it's first
で。
girl
まだ女性のせい
C!
でもせんのよ。
Ah, I should have known. First year girl C. Just as bad as those black suits. Like number 137.
あれ
Most would end up snatched by their friends. Still, it was a massive help that even a single girl like that was around. After buying a drink, I headed back to my room. Ah, let's go. It's Rhea. Dude, her fits are on point. I love these. Not enough sleep. Ohio. There are also those I could have a friendly conversation with. I don't know. I could definitely see why people like Rhea. I really liked the whole that golden hour scene that we had with her with the rooftop and everything. Like that to me was like a really special scene. So I really liked that. And I also loved our little tea time with Sylvie. Lots of really good CGs so far, I gotta say. Like there's already been like a few memorable moments just in like the first couple episodes here. Off she went. I guess friendly conversation wasn't entirely accurate. I don't know. It doesn't seem like she's a morning person, which is cool. I totally get it. I love mornings. I don't like being up for mornings. Okay, I'm gonna silence my phone. That way it doesn't keep distracting me. It was Saturday, finally a day off. The way a warrior would spend his day of rest, especially after fighting through his daily classes, his sleepiness therein was extraordinarily important. I learned something these past few days. Now that I was living in the dorms, there was something extremely important I needed to take care of, and that was... Ah, let's go! Gosh, I gotta say, the outfits in this are on point. Like, oh, just seeing the girls in different clothes is so nice. And, like, they're good-looking clothes. Stocking up on instant foods.
Loveriche.
Ah! No, don't tell me that. Shut up, it's important. There's no escaping everyone at school making fun of me or getting strange looks while I was at the dorm. But the one thing I couldn't stand were those dreary meals day in and day out. That had made buying up a solid supply of tasty food especially important. That said, it's mostly a bunch of instant noodles.
うち火は使えないからね。
After what happened last time, I invested in a... Yes, okay, good. I was gonna ask if he got an electric kettle, because if you're buying all these noodles, you need some way to make the hot water. It's a little desolate, but the other day had proven that simply having cup noodles around makes quite a difference. I feel like that's like quintessential to the Japanese experience, like, or just, I would even say like an Asian experience, for the most part, just having like the cup of noodles. On that note, I plan on buying a whole bunch of them. I just bought my daughter some of the, I don't know what brand that is, but it's the shrimp ones, just like the cup of noodles. She likes those. Which is really funny because I really didn't care for like cup of noodles or anything growing up. Now that I can't eat them either, so I'm not really missing them. Thanks for tagging along with me, Reina.
はあ、付き合うのは暇だからいいんだけど、空晴れすぎ。で来ると日焼けしそう。
Totally sunburned if we wander out too much. You're like mostly covered, okay? I'll keep the number of shops to a minimum. You've been a huge help. I'm sure I would have kneeled over by now if you hadn't been around.
え、何急に。
Reina, I'm so happy you're here for me. Yes, let's go.
まあ
Without you here for me, well, as a baggage carrier, no. Luggage mover, no. Someone easy to handle, no. Anyways, I'm happy you're here for me.
ほらあれだね。誤解が解けても無礼すぎて結局女子寮じゃ浮くタイプだね。
You know what I think I like about their clothes and their fits? I think it's kind of like a really nice 2000s era kind of style. Like I'm talking about like, you know, like early 2000s, maybe up to like 2005. Like they had that like certain kind of style, and I think like growing up, like I would see that all the time in like TV shows and things like that. Like I'm thinking of The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. You know, you would see them wearing that kind of like 2000 style that was really nice. It had like the plaid pleated skirts and things like that. I really like that style, especially on pretty women, right? Exactly. Like I said, I'm not the hugest fan of blondes, but this might be the game to change my mind. Maybe so. What it's worth, I'll definitely pay you back for helping me out here. I retrieved a card from my pocket. The black card. Yep, the black card. The one I received from one of Sylvie's garden nights a short while back. Oh, is this a credit card? One with no credit limit? Are you sure? If I use this to shop online.
何に使うかは自由ですが、使用したデータはすべてエロいな体調が閲覧しますので、あしからず。
Okay, that's fair. If you're gonna give him a card that he can just buy anything, it's totally cool that they're like making sure it's kind of important. I didn't know that. We're rich. Or so what? I was still not used for anything other than necessities, but clothing and stuff should be okay as long as it's within reason. As far as I was concerned, anything up to about 10,000 yen ought to be fine. You want those new earrings from the Gold Dust series or whatever it was, right? Need these Gold Dust series accessories, ones adorned with gold. All the rage with schoolgirls these days. They're incredibly trendy and went for less than 10,000 yen each, a delectable offer for your everyday university student or younger. Better yet, the newly released ones went for 7,000 yen. Oh yeah, I forgot. She's not like super rich or anything. So yeah, this is actually very meaningful. I appreciate that we can have this experience with her. Because yeah, she doesn't have loads of money. I'm just so used to thinking that like everybody in the school has a ton of money, but really like Reina is more down to earth, and I always appreciate that about a character. I am not rich at all, so I appreciate people that seem like everyday average people. Those gigantic earrings are super popular and use real gold dust. They'll probably sell out unless you get them today. You want them, don't you? You want the huge ones, right? Don't be shy. Say it loud and proud. What do you want? Why did you have to word it like that? What do you want and where? Yeah. That's that. Yeah. Anyways, very well, but only you help care after you carry some noodles. Come on, don't be a party pooper. Didn't even occur to me. Yeah. There was nothing. There was no innuendos there whatsoever. We went around town together. Reina was actually well versed in dirty jokes, unlike Sylvie and Elson, so I don't need to be as reserved around her. Befriending her right off the bat must have been the most fortunate thing to have happened to me upon rolling into Noble Academy. I didn't want to stay out for too long, so we headed to the nearest discount store. It's great that Don Quixote is open so early. Don Quixote. I feel like any person that knows a little bit about Japanese culture like knows that song, the little jingle. And look at that, we're already getting an awesome CG. We could keep an eye out for what was on the shelves and grab food later. So we took our time and browsed around the shop. Oh yes, right next to the what is this, rice cereal is the golden earrings. I could buy those earrings to pay Reina back right here, right now. So it worked out perfectly. Hang in there until we finish shopping. Oh, they're gonna be sold out. Don't do that. You buy clothes in a place like this?
買うよ、ディディとかシマムーとか。
Diddy's? We don't go to Diddy's no more. We don't go to those Diddy parties. Okay. Cheap stuff then.
安くて美少女と着ればどんなブランドにも満足しちゃう。
I think she's got a point. This girl seemed to love fashion, but wasn't too hung up on her own casual wear. Women's sensibilities were strange indeed. That's the thing I hate about like expensive clothing, is a lot of it isn't necessarily better quality, it's just you're paying for a brand. And I hate that.
おうおう。あそこは見ていかないの？
Over there, not happening. Raina pointed towards the back of the clothing department. It was the adults only section with a flashy curtain hanging over it. They have that? Oh, I guess a Don Quixote,
いろ
they
いろだよ。
probably would.
エロロだよ。黒髪ロングもいっぱいだよ。
I'm not hyped enough to want to go first thing in the morning.
なんか買ってったら。カップ麺ってあんまり満足感高くないでしょ。
I was like, wait a minute, what's a tenka? And I'm like, oh, she's talking about a tanga. Little bit different, but I'm aware of what that is. I know they're pretty popular in Japan. I won't buy it, and the cup of noodles are to eat. Cup of noodles aren't very satisfying though.
ああ、試したことあるんだ。
This girl belted out crude jokes without a second thought. There's a lot of really interesting lewd jokes in this, I gotta say. At least maybe more with Reina and our bestie that we like to mess with when it comes to the letter H. We made it to the food section. Little Kikuchiyo, I love that guy. I hurled the cheap cup noodles that caught my eye into the basket one after another. Sneak. Something up? What did she sneak in there?
ないない。ああ、これも美味しそう。
Is she putting her own noodles in here? Why not grab it? We pick things out. Discount stores really are the place to go to buy cup noodles.
カップ麺100円のラインを守りたいですね。
There were price hikes on cup ramen that would make commoners suffer right alongside ice cream these days. It's common for convenience stores to sell food, especially limited edition stuff, around 200 yen each. They certainly weren't my first choice, but I see cup of noodles at the store that are like $4 for like the similar things that they're getting. Obviously not like the little styrofoam cup ones, but like the big bowls, like those. Some of those are like $4 or $5 just for one. Like they're pretty pricey. Once unsold stock reached less than 3 months to expiration, it was eventually put on the discount rack for 100 yen. Targeting this was a piece of common knowledge.
でもオーロ、ブラックカード持ってるんでしょ？高いの買っちゃえばいいんじゃない？
I don't like wasting money like that. I wouldn't want to squander it even if it wasn't my money.
うんうん、いいね。それでこそ庶民。
More importantly, I probably wouldn't be able to fully enjoy eating any cup noodles that cost over 200 yen.
ああ、値段考えるとスープが残せなくて飲み干して胃もたれして後悔みたいな。
I don't know, maybe I don't have as cheap tastes as they do, because I'm like, so I'm just kind of doing like an easy conversion. Like 200 yen is, I'm just gonna compare it to like $2 in American, and I'm like, that's not a lot for like a cup of noodles, okay? Like I don't feel like I'd feel obligated to finish it, you know? Like I'm not one for wasting food, and especially because I got kids and I'm trying to teach them that too. Like, hey, if you start eating something, you need to finish it because they're really bad. I say my kid, it's my daughter. My daughter's really bad at doing that. Raina and I were alone, so we got riled up by the seemingly calmer in our talk. Didn't the old prime minister say that cup noodles were 400 yen?
あのマスコミが庶民生活を学べって切れて、ネットの応援団が政治家がカップ麺の値段知らないくらいなんだって切り返したやつ。
Oh, I agree with that. I'm pretty sure most rich people are completely out of touch with how much things actually cost. Looking back on it, both opinions were pretty odd. It's scary if you really think about it. There are political socialites who think cup of noodles to ally of the poor are around 400 yen. See, I would say they're around that much. So, I don't know, maybe I'm out of touch, but this was also made quite a few years ago when things were a little bit cheaper.
セレブの方々は世の貧困層って人たちも400円は楽に出せるって思ってるってこと
Because, like, I'm thinking of, like, when I go to Chipotle now, like, the cheapest option I have after tax is probably $10. I don't get anything fancy on it. I just do, like, the chicken, and I just do, like, everything that's free on there. But yeah, I still end up spending $10 when that same meal probably would have been like $7 just a few years ago. Really, everything's just gotten so expensive. Excuse me, I've just had so much soda and I can like feel like I need to burp, and I'm like trying to like get it out softly and it's not working. I just feel like it wants to keep coming out. I love soda. There are some people out there that don't like burping so much after having something with carbonation. And I'm like, I love that. I don't know. I grew up like drinking soda all the time, and I kind of stopped for a few years, and I've gotten back into it, unfortunately. Some would say that's bad and to worry about diabetes, and I say I'll worry about that point when I get there. The best place to start reforming politicians' tax hikes and financial squandering might be to make them go buy cup noodles on their own. I know. I think it's so dumb that, like, I'm getting political here for a second. I think it's so dumb that, like, people in political power, like, have, like, such different... They don't have to live with the same standards that the people that they're, like, making rules over have. Does that make sense? Like, sometimes they get like special like health insurance and things like that. They get like everything covered and all that, or like really cheap, and like, or the fact that they make so much more than like the minimum wage, and it just causes this disparity where they don't understand the people that they're supposed to be, you know, helping, right? I think that's a really big problem, and I'm speaking more to the United States, but maybe your country has a similar problem. But the United States especially, there's this really big disconnect from people in power and the people that they're supposed to be, you know, helping to make their lives better. Like, there's just a huge disconnect. What in the world are we talking about? This, mind you, this is getting me talking about politics, and we were talking about cups of noodles. Like, we need to lower prices. The cup of noodles are going up. They're skyrocketing. You're getting me so off topic. I took the noodles in the car and we headed back to the earring section from before. Don Quixote sold clothes and other wear, so I went to take a look. See, I've heard, like, from my wife when she went and visited Japan, that Don Quixote is, like, kind of pricey. Like, it's not really somewhere I feel like the Japanese people would shop. But maybe that varies. I don't know. Well, Reina's having a great time, and that's what's important. Long. We already bought the earrings. Let's head back. Okay, we actually got the earrings, though. What do you mean? No, you have to stay blonde. Only blondes. What? How do you know what that looks like? That soulless, faded out look is called empty eyes. It was a popular trope back in the day. It's pretty lame now, mostly used for brainwashing scenes. I feel ridiculously violated right now, though. Because you're picking out underwear. She'd walk back and forth from the clothing racks and hold up a variety of undergarments to her body and ask, how does this look, for a while now? Even though there were tons of customers around, Reina forced me to tag along, and I had to wait for her to try everything on. There were bras and panties as far as the eyes could see. This is too much. It's really hard on me to be here. 5 hours? You're insane. We should just leave her with this cart of stuff. Just leave her with the whole thing. Thanks to hard work carrying bags, I'm going home. I could just barely carry all of them by myself, but I did it anyways.
さすがに5時間はねって。もうオッケー。他行こうか。
We ultimately only bought cup noodles and nonchalantly headed outside. We didn't get the earrings? Are you sure? You tried on so much
今日
too.
は買う気ないんだよね。ただ今日はオーロが何分までなら待たせても切れないか見て、次荷物持ってもらう時の参考にしようかなーと。
Okay, okay. You were testing me, I see. Your face is crazy scary right now, huh?
おここなの？
You crying? And you was smirking. I'm... Jujutsu Kaisen's so good right now. I'm sorry, that just totally distracted me. I was just thinking of Gojo. It's so good, so good. I'm an anime only, so don't spoil me. It's fine if it means you've opened up to me. Headed to another shop. I do think you're a good person, but you really know how to screw up a guy's head.
そうか
Yeah, she could be a little irritating at times, but I don't mind it as long as she didn't
な。
nag.
じゃあ次はどこ行こっか。オーロの行きたいとこに付き合うよ。
Hmm.
今日はオーロの日だもんね。
She silently carried the other half of my shopping bags. For a moment, I wondered why. Yes, I was paying her to help me, but you're in kind of a good mood today, aren't you?
かもね。
I think most people are when they're shopping and, you know, just enjoying themselves, not having to worry about anything too important. Just smiling. What was it? As I wondered that.
実はね、これ初めてなの。
Is she trying to say this is like a date?
お休みに男と二人で出歩くって初めて。デート童貞卒業しました。
Bingo. Lost your dating virginity, huh? For real? I could tell that from our regular interactions, she didn't have a boyfriend, but that apparently extended into the past as well. Reina, were you unpopular?
失礼かよ。君に誘ってくる男子は多かったよ。ただ女の友達多いからどうしても複数になっただけ。
I feel like that's normal though when you're like a young adult. You don't have to have had a lot of experience. Like it's not like a bad thing. I don't know. I think people like think once you hit like 20 that if you haven't already like done everything that you're like behind, but it's like it's okay to not like be super well versed. I think at that point you probably should start, but I don't know. I mean, it's kind of like everyone goes at their own speed, and it's like it's not a big deal. You have plenty of time. Like especially like I feel like most people would probably say like college was the time when they actually like went out and did things and met people, had dates, things like that. I feel like that's just such a good time. Her lady friends probably jumped at the chance of going out together as long as it wasn't a random offshoot excursion like today. So you're saying I stole your dating virginity because everyone in the dorm thinks I'm some wild animal.
そうなるね。今日別に何人かお誘いがあったの。ピアスに釣られてオーロにしたけど。
I knew I could depend on you, Black Card. And your thoughts on losing your virginity? Don't word it like that.
まあまあかな。ちょっと手荷物が多すぎるけど。
Oh my gosh, not much of a date then, huh? We were both following around massive shopping
でも楽
bags.
しいは楽しいよ。男が女の子にアクセサリーを送る。いいデートの条件だもんね。
That's so. She really was a troublesome woman. Not that I disliked her for it, though. Was it really okay for you to tag along with me today? I bet you would have been better off hanging out with your friends instead. Wouldn't getting yourself a boyfriend be even better? I voiced a common line of reasoning for whatever reason. That should be preferable than getting dragged around to buy some earrings. Or so I thought.
彼氏はまだいいかな。
She candidly replied.
今は友達と遊ぶ方がいいわ。恋愛とかより。めんどくさそうだし。
Honestly, relationships are a lot of work. I totally don't blame people for like not wanting to be in one all the time, you know? I think some people are the type that thrive in one. Like they have to be with somebody. Like they're not dependent enough to like function without somebody else that like helps them just kind of live their best life, and that's totally cool. Like if that's the kind of person you are, you have to be in a relationship, like awesome, no problem. But at the same time, like it's okay to like take your time and you don't have to like rush things. I think some people get this idea like, I'm this age now and I have to do this. It's like, it's okay. I've seen, you know, now that I'm an adult, like I've seen how many other adults do not have their life put together, and like it's okay. Like that helped me feel a little bit more comforted. I'm like, I always thought when I was, you know, a teenager, like, everyone's so cool and they have their lives together, and it's like as soon as you become an adult, you're just like, I was like kind of afraid of like how that was gonna work out. It's like I just realized as I've gotten older, like not everybody knew what they were doing, especially, you know, being an adult. It's like sometimes you just don't figure it out. You just kind of go along and do your best, and it just kind of happens.
だから今日オーロ友達と遊ぶプラスピアスでオーロ一択だって。
Got to hang out with a friend and score some earrings. I don't know. Reina has been like a really good friend. I will say that. Absolutely. Like, obviously Sylvie is a great friend to us, but she's just kind of in a weird position. As far as like it's a little harder to just casually hang out with her, unless it's something spectacular like her little tea time. But like Reina's someone we can actually just go out and hang out with, and that's nice. I feel like as another commoner, you know, that's something we can bond over. It's just these kind of like fun Saturday morning type things. Now I understood. If she went with me, she'd get the earrings and get to hang out with a friend. Friends, huh? It's very nice. Oh, sorry. Okay. Sorry, I had kind of an important email. I've been waiting to hear back about something. So, Reina didn't want to get sunburned, so we called it a day. They must really worry about that. I'm like, I go out all the time. The only time I really get sunburned is if I'm in water. I do have to worry about that. Like I'll go to the lake with family or something, and if I don't put sunscreen on, I'll get sunburned. Ask me how I know. Grabbed some gyudon for lunch, then headed back. Used too much ginger.
いいじゃんただなんだから。
Ginger's goated. It's good for you too. It being free is not much of a
牛丼
reason.
は肉、玉ねぎ、生姜が1対1対1がベスト。これは譲れない。
Honestly, the thing I don't like about gyudon sometimes is that there is too much onions. I love onions. This might be weird. I actually prefer raw onions. I think raw onions generally are better than the cooked ones. If it's cooked, I like less, because they get kind of just like wet and slimy, especially like if you eat them the next day, if they're not fresh. So a little bit too much like kind of wet onion is not my favorite, but I do love gyudon. Doesn't it drown out the meat's flavor to eat it like that?
300円の牛丼の肉の味が死んで何を惜しむのさ。
300 yen? I wish. And then
牛丼
where did y'all spawn in from? Oh, that's a nice outfit she has. Very pink, but yeah. Sylvie, Elson, and Mina-chan
皆
too.
様でしょゲロ。
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
ウィスどうたん急に。
Gosh, so much blonde.
遊びに来たの。
Came to play.
階段を希望されていた某国の書記官殿に言い訳するのが大変だった。
Unusually enough, Sylvie came to the dorm.
お姫様だ。お姫様です先輩。はあ、実物は
Wait, hold on.
綺麗だね。
First girl A. First year girl A. We don't like her. She's the one that's always talking about castrating us. We don't like her. Third year girl A, I think. I don't know if we like her either. She said some bad things.
すごいですよ。もう存在感がすっごいです。シルビア様よ。
Okay. Calm down, everybody. Calm down. Our classmates look visibly freaked out. This is worse than what it's like in
クラ
class.
スの子はオーラが来る前に散々やったもん、このテンション。
How about that?
それにしても麗しきシルビア様がどうしてこんな野獣を。
Well, maybe you guys will get some respect for me after this, okay?
美女と
Because she
野獣
likes
って
us.
あれ、あっちは野獣が王子なんだっけ。
Yeah, actually, it's kind of like that. You know, we seem like the beast, but we're actually like a handsome prince type thing. Okay. That wasn't a bad thing. Everyone was causing quite a fuss, but Sylvie paid them no mind.
あー、ここがオーラの部屋なのね。
Yeah.
キラキラキラ、期待の視線。
Oh, are you coming into our room?
入る価値ございませんわ、お姉様。以前に見ております
What?
が、不潔で何もないつまらない部屋です。
What do you mean unsanitary? We don't know about that one. Hey, I didn't really want Sylvie to come in, but it certainly bothered me that Mina-chan had referred to it as being unsanitary.
そうね、ミナも一度入っているのよね。私、誰かの私室に入ったことがあまりないの。あるとしても、お姉様や妹たちばかり。男性の私室は初めてだわ。というわけで、改めて、キラキラキラ。
Those desperate-looking eyes were just too adorable for words. Fine, I guess, but try not to touch anything, I'm begging you.
やった。
Well, she's coming into our room. This is gonna piss off everybody, apparently, because we can't be seen with her upon letting in this barrage of visitors. Oh, everyone's coming in. Great.
さ、シュバ。
Where'd this come from? Over the side of my bed the second she came
なん
in.
でもない。気にせずともよい。恐れ多くもシルビー様を招いた部屋の一番目につくところに合法ロリーテの秘密の遊びという本などあるわけがない。
Secret playtime of legal Lolitas. This reminds me of last night I was hanging out with my friends. We were playing a game. It's called Stolen Realms. If you guys have heard of it, it's kind of this like an indie game on Steam. And my friend's brother came in, and we were talking about I don't know, his name on Discord is kind of, it's not Lolly, but it's something like really similar. It's like it looked like, the way I read it is it said Lolly Gooner, and that was apparently not what it was, but it made him laugh, and he was asking like what a lolly is, and I have a joke with my friend about lollies that I've had for a long time, and so he was like, no, don't tell him anything. So I just immediately was thinking of that conversation last night about legal lolitas. Ah, crap, it wasn't contaminated or anything, but I hadn't tidied up my porn collection. Yes, let's just casually mention our porn collection. The only one who ever came in here was Reina, after all.
これが殿方の
Gentlemen.
オーラの部屋なんだ。漫画とゲームばかり。低俗な部屋ですわね。何か高尚な趣味の一つもございませんの？
Ah, don't listen to her. It's 2026. You can have whatever hobby you want, okay?
いいじゃないみんな。
As long as it's
肩肘を張らない。い
appropriate.
つでも自然体がオーラの魅力よ。あら、これは何かしら。
Sylvie picked up the box I'd left beside my computer. There's only one reason a relaxed guy like myself would go out of his way to use a computer in this era of
なん
smartphones.
だか女の子がいっぱい書いてあるわね。これはゲーム？どんなゲームですの？
Well, let me see. It's about a guy who can see angel and devil wings. He becomes entangled in political intrigue with a royal family. Add in his service to the church, him doing some serious soul searching. I don't know. This sounds kind of cool, actually. I'm not gonna lie. And it's teeming with titties.
じゃあこっちは？
That's a game where a group of young men and women are tormented by the 7 deadly sins who were reincarnated in the modern day, and they have to confront their own natures and destinies. And it's teeming with
へ
titties.
え。オーラは素敵な趣味を持っているのね。
Yeah. I'm sure this is how everybody who like plays porn games, and I'm sure this is how they think. You know, it's like, oh yeah, I have such sophisticated tastes. Right now I'm playing Kinkoi, which is about international relationships with foreign countries in Japan. That when you say it like that, it sounds really good. Mina-chan flipped it, looked at the back cover, and went rigid. Games like these typically have pristine looking cover art in the front, but we're covered in tits in the back.
どうかしたみんな。
It's like a boob jump scare.
なんでもありませんわ。綺麗な表紙ですわね、お姉様。さあね。もし私がこんなゲームの表紙になるなら、綺麗に描いてほしいわね。
Ah, yes.
ところでシルビー様、ご覧ください。市松殿と来たらこんなにもカップ麺を買い込んで。
まあ、以前いただいた豚の親戚ね。メロンパンもいいけど、
Did it
これ
just
も美味し
censor
いわ
that?
よね。カップ麺、聞いたことありますわ。お湯を投入するだけで調理が完成するという。 ガラパゴス民族日本人の生み出した未知の食物。
The Galapagos Islands? I didn't know that.
試させなさいの視線。
Oh yes, help yourself.
今日のお昼もカップラーメンね。
You haven't eaten yet? It's just short of 2 p.m.
食べたわよ。
Oh no, she's just gonna eat more. Her face screamed, what of it? Oh yeah, wasn't she the type that could fit a whole cosmos in her stomach? She'd put her impressive appetite on display back at our tea party. Okay, I'll get it ready. Give me 3 minutes.
早いとは聞いたけれど、3分で用意ができるの？まさか。ゲロ、タバカルのはおよし遊ばせ？
You can make it in that time, though.
使いますわね。では3分以内に用意なさい。できなければ刑罰を与えますわ。
Why do I have to be penalized? 3 minutes after the water is boiled, that is. Anyhow, give me a few minutes. Hiroina-kun, please, set up while I cook.
了解した。
Elson wiped down the table to make the princesses feel welcome. And while wiping it down, she also went out of her way to hide the adult-oriented video games that were sitting nearby. I like how we just have those sitting around, by the way.
どうしてシルビア様があんなまだ巨船も住んでないオスのもとへ。
Ah, first-year girl C. I thought it was first-year girl A, but apparently girl C is bad, too.
大丈夫。カバリエロさんもいたし。
It's so hard keeping up with all these, different girls. It's just like the suits. Caballero-san's with her.
でもどうしてクル
Nice
スクラ
Chris
ウン
Brown's
様
not
が
doing this.
一般庶民の生態研究とかでしょうか。
Ecological research. What? Like are you talking about like the environment?
市松先輩とお姫様たちクラスが同じだそうですから普通に仲良しなんじゃないですか。そんなわけないでしょ。あの美しいシルビア様があんな巨船も住んでないオスと。あのお姫様まで懐いてる。茜の話も聞いてると本当に普通の男子みたいだし、やっぱ彼悪いことは思えないけどね。
Aha, our reputation's coming around. Good, good, good. It's all part of the master plan. They don't know about our massive collection of H games.
鶏白湯スープ。聞かぬ名ですが、なかなかに侮れぬ味わいですわね。
There are lots of chicken-based soups flooding the market lately.
豚骨と似てるけど、私こっちのが好き。
Tonkatsu cup noodles is just a thick soup with lard in it. Can't you tell how much nicer this one is without its lack of oddly excessive oil?
これがカップ麺。初めて食べましたが不思議です。お湯をかけるだけであれだけの味が出せるなんて。
そうなのよ。すごいでしょ。
Sylvie seemed oddly proud even though she had had her first bowl of cup noodles only
日
recently.
本、やはり侮
Oh
れ
yeah,
ま
she
せん
stole
わね。
ours. That's right.
お姉
She
さん
stole our
についてきて
limited edition
正解で
too.
したわ。ねえ、一緒に日本に来てよかったでしょ、みんな。
I guess this makes sense that they haven't had it just because they're not from Japan. I keep thinking like, oh, this is like quintessential Japanese culture. Like, yeah, of course, them coming from a different country, they probably aren't used to this, but I don't know. I wonder, they hadn't had it when they came to Japan before, like 10 years ago? Yeah, I wanted to ask them about that. You two really are sisters, huh?
ミナは私の可愛い妹よ。
Are you from like different dads though? They didn't look too alike if you asked me, but they were apparently full-fledged siblings. Excuse me. Gosh. Keep having to burp. As far as their hair color and whatnot went, perhaps their genetics were complicated. They are apparently royalty enough. They're actually addressing the hair color? They're not just like, oh yeah, pink and red and blue hair. That's totally normal. They're actually going to address that they have slightly different hair. Well, not that I was about to stick my nose into that subject. Ah, I wish you would, though. Sisters sure are nice. I wish I had a cute little sister.
何オロ妹属性
I feel like we're going into, like, Oriyama territory right now. Type doesn't really matter to me.
こんなに可愛い妹羨ましいでしょ
Super jealous. Actually, one of my life goals is to have a cute little sister call me Oni-chan.
ミナでよければいつでも叶うわよ。ねえミナ、オーロのことお兄ちゃんって呼んであげて。お兄ちゃん？兄ですの？身分を恐れず私の兄を名乗るということは、それすなわちシスアン家、ひいてはソルティレージュの王室血縁に異議を唱えるに等しく、国家反
Treason
逆罪に
against the
相当し
state.
ますが。
I'll look for another little
賢
sister.
明です。
Anything royalty related went way over my head. You have any siblings, Elson? Little sisters or brothers, I mean. I'd only ask given the flow of the conversation, but Elson's stiffened up for some reason. Okay, so I had speculated that these two were related. I feel like because they're so close, like they have to be. I'm wondering, maybe she's like a cousin or something. I don't know. Like she's got to be like somewhere in there. I know like politics with like royal families and things like that can be a little bit complicated. Like there's plenty of stories out there where it's like, oh, the family member was like working as like a servant for the main family because of like they were like a bastard child or something. You know, there's like stories like that. But even Sylvie's expression had turned a bit stuffy. Could this be?
おりません。私に妹はおりません。
I do not have. You said you don't have a little sister. But we asked if you had a little brother, too. You didn't say anything about that. The room suddenly went silent. What's with this weird mood? Did I ask something I shouldn't have? Okay, yeah, so I was right. There's definitely something going on there. So why did we go out again?
足日焼けしたくないのに。
Yeah, that'll be fine. We headed right back outside after
今日
lunch.
ここに来たのはこちらが本命ですわ。ほら、前に始球式に出ると言ったでしょ。
I do remember
あ
this.
れの練習をしようと思うの。野球ってやったことがないから。
Yeah.
始球式の練習投げるだけでしょ。
それでもいいのですが、野球は日本の国民的スポーツ。こちらも知っている体で投げた方が見ている側には喜ばれます。
Yeah, I think that's totally fair to like put a little bit of effort in. Make sure you know how to like pitch a proper ball. It doesn't have to be like amazing. Like no one's expecting you to be like a professional athlete, but if you could at least like honor the sport, I think people would be happy with that. Realty sure had it tough.
あのね、ノーパン投球、ノーパンで投げるのがかっこいいと聞いたの。だから私絶対そのノーパンがやりたいの。ノーパンのために練習したいの。
Free balling. Isn't that like another term for like going commando? It's not free ball, it's fastball. You want to do fastball pitch. Okay, I was right. I wanted to make sure. These are pitching without wearing underwear, and it'd be a waste of time to practice. In fact, you'd probably get more attention if you just flopped over on the field. Why are we embarrassing her like that?
お姉様にパンツを脱げですって。
No. She mentioned it first, okay? This is the same thing that happened with the Kikuchiyo. People are doing weird things, and we're just trying to get answers. Someone's the one who said it. Open your ears.
ノーバンはともかくシルビー様が妙に張り切ってしまい事前練習をすることになったのですがいかんせん我々は皆野球を知らない
Okay, that's fair. Their country apparently has zero baseball
そ
culture.
れで市松殿にご助力いただけたらと思うので
That's fair. We seem to know a little bit. Elson asked me in a low-key manner.
あなた野球に詳しいんですの？
そうなん？
Yeah, more or less it was a regular part of my PE class. There's no need to delve further into it when it was just a pitch for a season opening ceremony. I'll help you if it's just for practice. Do you have the equipment?
グローブとボールはあるわ。バットというのも必要ならすぐ持ってきてくれるけれど。
Now what you have is fine. You'll be in good shape as long as you can launch the ball 20 meters away. Come here. I head to a spot about 20 meters away from Sylvie. This should be about right. I took a seat. Try throwing to me.
ちょうど20メートルの距離を取りましたわね。
I like how everyone just can tell. Oh yeah, it's 20 meters.
奥さんにしちゃすごいね。見ただけでわかるんだあんなの。
体が覚えているのでしょう
If he's played a lot, yeah, I'm sure he kind of knows like roughly how far
元
away.
保守だそうです
行くわよ
The ball passed over my head and flew somewhere off far in the distance. Oh no!
こーら誰じゃボールを投げたのは
Oh, quick, run!
おお、日本の空き地、かっこ土管が3つ置いてあるタイプので、
日本ではよくこんなことが
昭和の頃はね、声優交代後の新アニメ版じゃ教育に良くないってことで、野球するときは河原に行くようになってるそうだけど。
What are we talking about right now? I was afraid of her breaking a window. However, since Sylvia was the one who threw the ball, we weren't reprimanded for it. We're only told to be careful instead. Sylvie, we've learned that you actually have one hell of a pitch. Even though it was her first time she'd thrown about 40 meters, I bet she could set school records for farthest pitch if she tried.
シルビーって何気に運動神経抜群。王室の人間は生まれた瞬間、あらゆる素養を学ぶことが義務付けられます。その中には当然運動や基礎体力も含まれますわ。
Despite her spacey personality, she was incredible. So there's no need to throw it so far. Me, throw it at me, okay?
そんな当たったりしたら。
Do hit me. It's okay. I'll make sure to catch it. Once again, I put 20 meters between us. This time, Sylvie gave us some thought and tossed it in my direction. Bop, bop. What happened to all the energy from before? The ball bounced a few number times before slowly rolling towards me. However, this would work. Just like that, throw it a little harder next time. There's no need to teach Sylvie to catch, so I rolled the ball back to her. The ball began to bounce fewer times than before. She had good enough of a shoulder on her to reach me from the very start. Once she adjusted, whack. Good, that's the way. It reached me without bouncing.
今のよね。
Yeah, that's it. One more time. I rolled it back, and when she threw it again, whack.
またノーバン。
You got excellent reflexes. Once she got the hang of it, she never missed again. Tried it 5 times or so, but she never threw another ground ball.
やったわ。
This is so unrealistic. Nobody learns this fast.
これで心置きなく始球式に出られますね
This is like how fast an ADHD person wants to learn a skill because they get frustrated if they don't immediately perfect it. Like, this is how fast my ADHD wants to be able to learn something. I want to be able to just like get a little bit better each time. But the reality is sometimes you just don't. Sometimes you try to learn a skill, and especially for me, like, I take a few steps forward and then, you know, like 5 steps back before I really like eventually figure it out. Oh, and with that, we're about halfway done. The most complicated part of the opening ceremonies is what comes next. Elson, come here for a second. Step 20 meters again and had Elson stand behind me. Stay there just like that. You don't need to do anything. Just step to the side if you think the ball's going to hit you. Sylvie, once more. Sylvie gave it another throw. Oh? And sent the ball flying in the distance. I figured this would happen, so I stood up and retrieved it.
お姉様どうかされまして？
Because Elson was standing right there, you thought you were going to hit her with the ball.
そう。
自分などお気になさることありませんの。
だって。
That's how human psychology works. It's the same in basketball, actually. Players' accuracy can drop as much as 50%, even when they normally make 80% of their free throws. You realize this if you watch footage of a season opening game, but most people will veer away from where the batter is standing, even when they know that it's the batter's shot to whiff the shot. On that note, let's practice again with the batter in place. It's alright, if you keep at it like you were before, you'll adjust in no time.
エル、危なかったらちゃんと避けてね。
I mean, that's fair. Like, yeah, I would think you don't want to, like, hit somebody, you know? She corrected her pitch. The mere addition of a single batter caused her to falter. The divergence even disrupted her depth perception, and she threw nothing but ground balls. This would likely be difficult to correct. Well, we'd take the time to give it a go.
野球というゲーム、なかなか奥が深いですわね。だね。キャッチボールでもバッターがいるとあんなになるんだ。知らなかった。あら？日本人なのに野球知りませんでしたの？日本人でも8割にとっては太ったおっちゃんがブンブンバット振り回してアウトだセーフだ言ってるだけな。まあソルティレージュもフェンシングやスカッシュが盛んですが、ルールを知ってる者は少ないですわ。残る2割のうち半分はルールを知ってるって程度。バッターがいるとどうなるみたいな話。残る1割の何人くらいが知ってることか。あんなに詳しかったんだオーロ。
Whack. Perfect. She can now land a solid 10 shots in my glove in a row, even with Elson standing beside me. If you keep this up, you'll be in perfect shape for the opening ceremony, maybe too perfect. Might be happier if your ball was a little further off. It was great that I helped her practice, but I may have gone a bit overboard.
ありがとうオーラ。なんとかノーパンでできそうよ。
Free ball.
結局お休みなのにまたオーラの一日をもらっちゃったわね。
That's fine. We're like, that's the thing that's like great about school and just hanging out with friends is like it really doesn't matter. Like if you spend the whole day doing something like but you had fun, what does it matter? I mean, it's a memory, right? She said while gazing at the already setting sun. I took care of everything on my agenda this morning, so don't sweat it. My lazy Saturday had been anything but I was surrounded by non-stop beauties.
楽しかったわ。やっぱりオーロといられると本当に楽しい。そうだオーラ。どうせだから始球式も来てみない？
Yeah, that would be fun.
式の後ね、観戦も頼まれているのだけど、ルールも知らない競技だから明日の夕方5時からよ。オーロがいてくれると嬉しいわ。楽しいわ。ルールも教えてくれそうだし。ねえエル、関係者ということで招けるわよね。
招けますが、なりません。年の近い異性と共に観戦などマスコミに騒がれます。ましてやこの野球の試合は全国に中継されるとのこと。ソルティレージュ王室全体が混乱します。
Ah, lame.
別に2人で観戦するわけじゃないわ。隣にはボラルコーチやエキスナもいるんだし。
なりません。
お友達なのに。
それは結構。しかし表に出す真似はおやめください。
ねえねえ、私も行きたいって言ったら。
Yeah, just bring a whole group, and then it's like, oh, we're just friends from class.
さけ殿なら、少々装いをおとなしくしていただきますが。
よかった。まあ野球興味ないけど。
しかし申し訳ありませんが、市松殿は厳禁です。
Elson shook her head decisively. Never said I wanted to go in the first place, though. Well, she was probably just thinking what was best for her highness like the diligent lady she was. Better to keep my comments to myself.
エル、前から思ってたけど、オーロのことが嫌いなの？
嫌いとかそういう問題では。
オーロはすごく楽しくていい人よ。ね、レイナ。面白いよね。おもろ。
It's not a compliment.
姉様からは90点。 レイナさんからは75点といった評価ですわね。胸を張りなさいな。ねえエル、オーロのこと嫌い？
好き嫌いで分ける相手ではありません。
あ
Elson gave the best reply a princess's guard could provide, but Sylvie didn't seem pleased.
あ、分かった。じゃあ始球式に呼ぶのは諦めるわ。ごめんなさい、オーロ。
Yeah, come on, I seriously never even said I wanted to
結
go.
構です。
ただし、
はい。
エルの態度は問題よ。私の大切なお友達であるオーロ、好きでも嫌いでもないなんて。
それは私はシルビー様のこの絵として。
エルも私の大事なお友達よ。お友達とお友達、仲良くしてほしいわ。
Sylvie's comments were selfish, but Elsa, her official guard and an imperial knight, did falter when she called her a precious friend.
こうしましょ
はい。
う。ねえオーラ、明日も日曜で休みでしょ。明日もう一日私に付き合ってくれないかしら。
Sure, I guess. Could use that as an excuse to kill time.
命令よエル。明日はオーロとデートしてきなさい。
Ah, goaded. Let's go.
おやおや、一日オーロを楽しませるのよ。終わったらオーロに点数つけてもらうわ。80点以上で合格。
Hey, Sylvie, you're being really pushy about this. Hey, shut up, shut
エ
up.
ルに任せておけばいいから大丈夫よ。明日一日は私にくれるのよね。
Getting me to commit to our outing in advance hurt. Well, okay, let's assume I'll spare a day. What should I
オ
do?
ーロはそのままでいいのよ。そのままでいればエルのことも楽しませてくれるわ。はい、
Absolute cinema. Let's do it. No pressure then. Got it.
じゃあ決定。明日頑張ってねエル。
お待ちください姫様。
That's an order. Tell her. It's
じ
an
ゃあ
order.
帰りましょうか。みな、帰りに何か食べたいものある？カップ麺とやら気になりますが。
Oh my
買っ
gosh.
ていきましょう。
We're corrupting her. She's just gonna be eating nothing but cup of noodles. Just too much sodium.
賛
シルビー様。
The three of them headed home.
成。いやー、オーロの人生っておもろいよね。
Give me a break. My whole weekend is covered with dates.
明
It's
日は
peak.
このピアス、友達に見せびらかすんだ。
Oh, I wound up with some outrageous plans at the very last second. A date with Elson? I like how they have to say that. It's a date. It's like, oh, I'm not just gonna have you hang out with him tomorrow. It's a date. You guys are going out alone. So, date, obviously.
金色ラブリッチェ。朝っぱらから誰だ今日も読み上げてんのは。
Did she just barge into our room? I stopped the sutra CD I had going while I'd been meditating. What's the matter, dear visitor? Are you lost?
道に迷ってんのはてめえだよ。なんだこの CD。同居？ああ、100均とかによくある。怖いわ。日曜の朝からお迎えが来たかと思ったわ。
Did I wake you? I'm sorry. Please forgive me. As you can see, I bowed my head.
次やったら CD と一緒に棺桶にぶち込むからな。
Something happened.
なんかあったのか？
I was engraving a powerful sermon in my body to denounce the fear and agitation within me. This is how I've calmed myself down for a long time. It's the fruits of my meditation.
瞑想してたのは分かった。ね、日曜の朝から何が怖いんだ？お前日曜日恐怖症とかなんとか？
Sunday phobic. I've never heard someone say that. That's a new word. I love Sundays, although I get so depressed I could die around 6 o'clock at night when Chiba Maruko-chan starts.
じゃあ
Who is
なんだ
that?
よ。今日なんかあんのか？
Actually, today, I told her what happened yesterday about how I'd gone with Sylvie's suggestion and how I would be going on a date with Elson. Do you know Elson? Heroina Caballero-san?
お堅そうなパツキンなら知ってる。あいつエロいなって名前なの？
Skip the jokes. I know her name sounds like a Oh, is that the joke? I just thought it was supposed to be like heroina, like heroine, like she's supposed to be like the main character. Like I thought that was the joke. Her name sounds like erotic.
エロいの
Hold on. Can I replay that?
エロいの
Okay, yeah. I didn't know that, but yeah, that does sound really familiar. I had no idea that was the joke. Maybe they've explained that. I just don't remember at the moment. She's the type who wouldn't begin to understand an off-color joke like that. As far as I know, she'll try to rip my arm off when she gets angry. She's more like the fan going, give me your arm, than she is erotic.
はあでそいつとデート
That's how things ended up. It was currently 8 in the morning. Our date was at 10, so 2 more hours.
うーん
Wait. What's with the
い
reaction?
やお前がエロい人とデートするのは分かったけど俺にどうしろと
She was just gonna leave. I'm telling you, she's not like that. If I mess up today, she might take one of my
う
arms.
ん
Rhea let her cigarette off. Hey, you can't smoke it here? This is a non-smoking door, but oh well. Do you have any suggestions, like some surefire trick to a good date?
札束持ってって顔面ひったたけば大抵の女は股間から突っ込んでくるらしいぞ
What? What kind of advice is this? In a healthy sense. Also, she's like royalty or whatever, so I doubt money's gonna help me here.
そうだ
You have an idea.
せっかく日曜朝早くに起きたんだからプロキュアを見ようあれ昔好きだったわ
Hey,
なんだよてめえがデートしようが失敗して腕取られようがエロいことになろうが俺に関係ねえだろ
but still, I was nervous and wanted someone to talk to.
ったく
Luckily, Rhea didn't leave. She took a seat on my bed and got comfortable.
ああまだライダーの時間か
Common writer.
灰皿あるあと飲み物
Oh my gosh, you're pretty much acting like you own the place. She sprawled out, turned on the TV, and even demanded a drink. Thanks, Raina. I've gotten used to this sort of behavior. Shoved her hand down her shirt and gave herself a scratch. I caught a glimpse of her collarbone, and it sure was sexy. The collarbone? She may have been making herself more at home than Raina. Oh, well, I got a Ramune to drink, then grabbed the cup I used to rinse my mouth so she could use it as an ashtray.
このコップ灰皿にしていいん
Cigarette ashes are apparently sterile, so why
ラ
not?
ムネ
I feel like
今
the
時ラ
smell
ム
would
ネ買ってる
linger
やつな
though.
んているんだ
I don't know. I wouldn't want to use that as an ashtray. I would use something that you're gonna throw away. I always enjoyed it, so I just happened to keep a stockpile. Just like Raina, she opened the stopper in a familiar fastener with just a finger. Made me wonder what her family life was like. If I were to use Kukachio and Raina as examples, those are the commoner end of the spectrum. Those on the commoner end of the spectrum are far more familiar with how to handle Ramune, but inferring someone's home life through Ramune would be too extreme. I was curious, but also at a loss since it was a difficult subject to bring
腹
up.
減った飯は
Just get food from the cafe. There's a whole 20 seconds walk away, too.
何この鶏白湯ラーメンうまそう
Why is everyone so, like, into our ramen supply? I opened the ramen package I bought yesterday. I bought 10 or so, but 5 of them were already gone thanks to yesterday's visitors losing yet again and made me feel pretty desolate. We literally got this for free with our black card because we had to make such a big deal about that. You can see at the bottom of the bag.
何これ
Just grab something from the bottom of the bag. Huh? Red cylindrical.
うん
Why is that in there? Oh my gosh, we said the exact same thing. I checked the receipt from yesterday. Tenko is on the list of purchases. I hadn't noticed it since I used a credit card. I rechecked its soft texture.
これはいわゆるあれか男の自家
Oh
発電
no, oh no.
汚ねえな
It's unused. I caught it as she threw it at me. Not that I remember buying this, damn it. It must have been Reina. Ah, okay. So there was a point where she like threw something in the cart. We didn't know what it was though. At least I didn't even like see the package. Gosh, she could have at least dropped the punchline
ま
yesterday.
あ気にすんな世の中にはケツに何かしら入れて自家発電する男もいるそうだそれに比べたら
What?
多分健全だ
The-
学生の
I
うち
don't-
から
I
そう
don't
いう
know
の
what
に
to
頼
say
るの
about
は
that.
どうかと
We're
思う
just
けど
gonna-
なモテないおっさんが使うイメージだし
Something a creepy old guy would use. Getting really off base here. I didn't buy
状
it.
況始まった。静かに。
Ah, okay. Damn it. Wasn't able to get a single piece of useful information out of Ria. So she came over to watch anime, eat our food. She's like just scratching herself and apparently revealing her collarbone to us. Like this is his perfect woman right here. Besides, you know, doesn't have the long black hair, but then at 9:30, it's getting late.
あ
When are you going
あ、
home?
2ピース終わったら。
Two piece. What is this? Chicken? Ria watched through all of Draban Gal Super after Brokir was over and she was still lounging around. My date was in half an hour. I had to get going. She's just watching all of the anime. Fine, I guess knock yourself out and leave whenever you're ready. Please don't smoke in my bed, though. Ria flapped her hand to me as if to say, get out if you're already without so much of a reply. First Reina, now Ria, the number of people coming over and acting like they own the place was only going up. Oh well. As I tried to leave,
おい、
Ria was still watching TV, but
デートは知らねえけど、人間関係のことなら、まず初撃でガツンとかませばお前の勝ちだ。
it's not a competition.
第一印象で楽しませてやるって叩き込め。したら、お前なら失敗はしねえよ。
Trying to wrap my head around her subtly delinquent example, but she did seem to be rooting for me. Thank you. Sure, that wasn't really much to go off. What do you mean make the first big move? I feel like a male would interpret that as like, oh, like go for a kiss or do something crazy like that. It's like, no, you really shouldn't try to make that happen on the first date, you know? Like don't push it too hard. She drove me off with another flit of her hand and I headed outside. But I like the idea of like, if I take away like the point she was making about making a first big move, like setting an expectation from the start of the date is always a good thing. Like you can let her know like, hey, this is kind of what I have planned for today. I feel like when I first started dating, usually I did some kind of event and then I did food right after. Or depending on what time of day it was, I would do food and then like an event, like something in that order. I usually did those two things. I kept it like in an expectation, like, hey, this is gonna be like a maybe like a 3-hour thing, right? Just so it's not like too crazy. But like, hey, we're gonna go do an event, and then we'll go eat, and then you know, talk and get to know each other, and like that'll be it. Like I'll take you home after, kind of thing. I think it's good to like set an expectation on a date, I guess. Whoops! I just barely avoided running into her.
おはようございます。市松先輩。どこかお出かけですか？
Yeah, we are. Oh yeah, for a bit.
どちらに行かれるかお聞きしてもいいですか？
Knowing my whereabouts is likely part of her reconnaissance duties, but it's kind of strange for her to ask at point blank. Still, honestly, answering on a date with Elson could be oddly antagonistic. Think of heading to town with a friend.
お買い物ですか？
Something like that. I need to go out once in a while, you know?
それなら一緒に運動しましょう。そんな時こそスポーツですよ。
Ah, some other time. I've already made plans for today.
そうでした。お友達との約束は大切ですよね。
Exactly, so I'm sorry about this.
いってらっしゃいです。お気をつけて。
I left the dorm as Akane-chan saw me off. Okay, then. Time for my day with Elson. What should I do? I was Elson's escort, so I wouldn't be choosing our destination or anything. Still, should I have some strategy in mind? Making her angry would naturally be the worst case scenario, but even if I didn't, I'd sooner avoid ending on an awkward note. She and I weren't terribly compatible as it was. It'd be wonderful if we could both enjoy spending some time together. Oh. It's fucking peak cinema.
お待たせした。
Alright, what a shocker. If I put into Ria's term, she landed the first blow on me. Elson should wear clothes like these too. This like makes her look like way older. Crap. This was so immensely unordinary that it sent my heart racing.
どうかされたでしょうか。
You wear clothes like these
日
too.
本に来るにあたってそれなりの服装は揃えています。
Made sense. It's Imperial Knight's job to blend into their surroundings. It looks great on you.
ああ、寸法は完璧に仕立ててある。
It wasn't how I meant it, but yeah, I guess I could pass it off smoothly. Never been conscious of Elson, since she was always hidden in Sylvie's shadow, but she was gorgeous. What do you mean she was always hidden? Like, she always has, like, some of the best outfits on. She was gorgeous. I knew she was beautiful, but she looked positively gorgeous right now. It wouldn't take much convincing if you told me she was the princess.
どこかおかしいだろうか。実は作ってはもらったものの、着慣れては
I
ない
don't
の
know,
です。
gentlemen. Is Elle best girl? I don't think I've seen anybody say that she is yet. But I don't know. There's a lot of Reina fans, and Reina's great. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I really, really like Reina. And Sylvie is very nice, and I have a feeling that like she's kind of meant to be our main love interest, right? And then there's Akane. She's cool. I don't even remember the other routes. I know obviously we get one with Ayaka later, but I don't know. L might be the play. L might be the play. That's fine if you
な
ask
ら
me.
ばなぜそんなジロジロ見るのです。
I don't know what kind of like dare she is. I guess L is probably maybe somewhere in like the tsundere type thing. She's definitely like hey, I'm gonna act like cold towards you. I'm gonna act like I don't like you, but now we're going on a date with her. It's like it's gonna awkward real fast. Ria said as much too, but the first impressions were essential. My very first mission was to set up the mood for a day of fun, but I already screwed it up. Elsan was just so different from her usual, it made me nervous. I was having trouble sorting through my emotions. Yes. Elsan had been timid up to that point, but yet suddenly stood up straight.
タバコの匂いが。キコ、まさか喫煙したのですか？
Huh?
学園のもの。かつ寮の中は喫煙が禁じられています。
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, she's getting us all the rules. She testily raised a corner of her eye at me. Oh, thank goodness it was the usual Elsan. You got it all wrong. I was just near someone who was smoking a minute ago. Look, the smell clings to my clothes. It's clearly not coming from me directly.
言われてみれば失礼しました。最初から。
Don't mention it. We always seem to start off on the wrong foot, don't we?
そうですね。
Aha! Alright, I feel like if this was Persona, we'd get like the 3 little like music notes. Ding, ding, ding. It's like we made the right dialogue choice. We're in. I felt a bit more relaxed when she started acting like her usual self. Luckily, I was able to change the
参り
mood.
ましょうか。姫様のご命令です。今日はキコに目いっぱい楽しんでもらわねば。
Then why are we even leaving the academy? We could have just gone back to my room. Headed down towards town together.
ニョキニョキニョキ。
Aw, you guys gonna
お
watch?
はようございます。ついに始まりました。エルのドキドキ初デートのお時間です。
Why are they announcing it?
実況は私、ソルティレージュ王国第9王女シルビア。解説には男女の恋愛と梅干しの種の中身の調理方法に詳しいカミナル王女に来ていただいています。天神ですわ、天神。さあ、早速2人いい感じに歩いてますね。
What do you mean she has dating
こんなところ
experience?
どうです
What?
か、カミナルさん。チャンピオンなかなか余裕を持ってリードしておりますわ。これは早いうちから積極的なアプローチが見られそうですわよ。いいですね。
Hey, look, it's one of the music notes. Where are you planning to go today?
着くまで内緒。
Oh my gosh, look, she has a mini skirt
そうする
on?
のが良いと聞きました。
Let's keep that a secret till we arrive here. That is the best way to do it. You sure picked up the trick to dates. By the way,
はい。
turned around. I can see gold and silver hair in the bushes. You've noticed, haven't you?
はい。
Elsan, have you encountered any events recently where you threw a wig or something to mysteriously receive gold or silver hair from the goddess of some kind?
ありません。
What?
シルビー様たちがああなさりたいようでしたら、私が止める理由はありませんので。
This woman had some astounding loyalty. I won't say anything either then. These two really have nothing
本
better to
日は
do.
夜の始球式以外ご予定がありません。
Sounded like they were free indeed.
さあ、街に出ました。なかなか盛り上がってきたんじゃないですか、カミナルさん。どちらもうまくセットポジションをとっていますわね。これ、なるほど。面白 白くなりそうですね。
Hey, this might be a filler arc, but I'm still considering this a date.
ところでここまで焚きつけておいてなんだけど、デートって具体的に何をするのかしら。そうですわね。私たち王族には馴染みのない言葉ですわ。男と女場合により同性でもかが時間を共に過ごし信仰を深めること、またその様。ここまでは辞書に載っていたから知っているわ。
I mean, yeah, that sounds like a very, apt definition of it.
レーナやクラスの子たちが言っているのを聞くに、もうキャーって感じで楽しそうなのも知ってる。でも具体的には何をするのかしら、さっぱりわからないわ。同じくです。しかーし、そこはこの未来の淑女カミナルル・プルテア。日本の習俗にも詳しくあるべきと、日本のデートにありがちなことを調べてまいりましたわ。
Oh no, please be normal.
さすがミナ、小さい頃からいつも頼りになるわ。
I'm just imagining her idea of how the date's supposed to go be a little weird.
おっと、日本のデートのポイントですが、
Let's hear them.
まず何と言っても男性は遅れてくるものですわ。
What?
そして待たされた女性はちょっとオールもエルも遅れなかったわ。すでに最初から大事なことを外していますわね。
Not a reliable man
頼
at
りに
all.
ならない他に大事なポイントとしては、女の子が何かにつけてパン
What?
ツが見えてしまったり、噴水に落ちてずぶ濡れになったり。
Okay, this sounds like it's from one of his games.
外してならぬのは、女の子がはしゃいでいるとき、向かいからやってきた車にはねられそうになり、慌てて殿方が抱き寄せる。デートというのは波乱万丈ね。パンツくらいはともかく、毎度ずぶ濡れになって車に引かれかけているの。本人たちはそれほど浮かれてしまうのでしょうね。デート、それは楽しくも危険な夜のバカンスなのです。
Nighttime. It's not even night. It's like the morning.
実はデートは誘うところからポイントが決まる。本来は男性が鉄棒にぶら下がって「俺と付き合ってくれ!」と誘うのが礼儀だそうですわ。女の子は OK ならイチゴのパンツを見せるのです。
For being really smart and being at this, extremely knowledgeable school, how did they mess this up so bad?
あら、私オーラの仕事を取っちゃったかしら。あと、この国の女性はパンツを見せすぎじゃない？
No, you like to imagine that they
で
do.
すわね。ひょっとして我々が考える下着とは別にまたどこかの高原まで行き、ペンダントをくっつけてザクシャ・イン・ラブと唱えるとの説もあります。ザクシャ？愛を永遠にとかいう意味だそうです。ああ、永遠と言っても何回でも上書き OK なので大丈夫。
Okay, that's the most realistic thing you've said.
他にも、男性はトラックの前に踊り出てバーンって僕は死にましぇーと叫ぶのがデートの最も良い申し込み方に当たるそうですわ。惹かれちゃうの？武士道の国ですから、デートでも支柱に喝を見出すことが尊ばれるのではないでしょうか。なるほど。侍は奥が聞いているだけで難しいのね、デートって。
Honestly, if this wasn't made by Japanese people, I'd feel like they're insulting them.
まったくですわ。
Imagine like going back into the past and like showing an actual samurai this game. Just be like, hey, just read this part. Assuming they had knowledge of reading back then. And they're just like, what in the world are they talking about? Getting hit? Is comparable to being a
さっ
samurai?
きから街を流してるだけだけど、あれでいいのかしら。
Nice to walk around like
好
this,
天
huh?
に恵まれましたからね。
Walked through the city
暖
together.
かくて心地よい。この街は良い風が吹く。
There's a lake nearby, so it is acting as a natural air conditioner. Could cause horrible humidity depending on the season, but compared to autumn or spring, this was the best time of year in my opinion. One of those prerequisites was that we are blessed with ideal date weather. more preeminently than the climate or anything, other stuff like that. Walking with a beautiful woman at my side made me feel different. Probably seemed that way since I had walked around with Freyna yesterday too. That had been relaxed and fun in its own right, but how should I put it? Today just felt incredibly special.
うわ、すごい美人。
誰かしら、モデル？ハリウッドスターでは見ないわよね。
誰だ？隣を歩いてる男。
羨ましいけど。気持ち悪いぜ、あいつ。
Aren't Japanese people notorious for like minding their own business and not standing out? I guess maybe they would look at him if he was standing out, but I feel like they wouldn't really be like paying attention. I don't know, maybe I'm just entirely wrong. Oops, I reined myself back in.
なんだか視線が集まっている気がします。日本人から見て私はどこかおかしいでしょうか。
Yeah, I mean, she is blonde, though, and that would definitely stand out in Japan, of course, and she's very clearly foreign. No, not at all. She was beyond gorgeous, that's all there was to it.
妙に注目されている気が。キーの視線もあるようだし。
Those weird looks were likely due to the smirk I had on my face. I'm telling you, the attention you're getting isn't bad by any means. More importantly, El-san, where are we heading? She had been escorting me somewhere this whole time.
すぐそこです。
Okay, so she's taking lead on the date, though.
付き合わせた市松殿には申し訳ないが、私はいわゆる男女の機微というものに疎い。良いデートというものがわかりません。
Sure. As a man, I was pretty content with how things were playing out so
そこ
far.
でせっかくの機会なのです。今日は市松殿にシルビー様の素晴らしさを知っていただこうと思う。
Things had instantly taken a strange
こ
turn.
ちらへどうぞ。この町の方なら説明の必要はありませんね。井川楽器店。
Huh? Brought me to a shop with an assortment of primarily pianos.
こちらをご覧ください。モデルシルビア。これが何を意味する楽器の町出身の貴公であれば興味のあるところでしょう。
I was naturally familiar with it, but S Prefecture, Hamachu City, the city was the unprecedented city of music even in Japan. This was home to the headquarters of Yamata, the best piano manufacturers in the world, to Nagami, the second best. Third best was presumably in America or Germany, but the aforementioned manufacturers were all solicited to produce their respective commodities. All sorts of companies gathered here. Some massive earthquake or other disaster hit the city. Tomorrow, the worldwide instrument production would drop by half. Their presence here meant that there were a number of musical instrument shops scattered throughout the city. But, sorry, but I have no real interest in music. This is a world-famous city in music, but doesn't mean everyone living here is interested in that kind of
な
thing.
のですか？
I mean, if I went to a city like Vienna and started humming a tune in the middle of town, it's not impossible a passerby would join you in and sing in like some opera
それ
style.
はないと思いますが。
I've never really played an instrument before other than a recorder in elementary school. For that matter, I used mine for play sword fights with friends more than I actually ever played it.
そうでしたか。それでは今日のプランは練り直さねばなりません。
Oh no, I know I just chimed in, but now that I don't know, but now that you know I don't know anything, I'd be delighted if you wanted to explain it for me. Learning was fun because you didn't know anything after all.
そうですか。よかった。では改めてこちらのピアノモデルシルビアというのですが、
Is it related to Sylvie somehow?
はい、シルビー様の注文を受けデザインされたものなのです。
Conversation was back on a positive note. Oh, I know she's royalty, but having her own brand of pianos made for you is incredibly, I skipped it a little too quick before I read the last word. Brand of pianos made for you is incredible. Okay. Since it was called Model Sylvia, I assumed this meant that this piano wasn't a one-off, but part of a series. What series of events led to its creation?
シルビー様が昔日本に出向いた時、井川から新製品のピアノが贈られ、それが非常に気に入ったことからこのモデルが量産されるようになったと。
Oh, she has quite a bit of influence, I guess.
なかなかに人気を得ているのですよ。
In return, Elson looked a bit smug. Well, the second-hand piano market is not quite as strong as these days, and new ones aren't selling as well as a result. New brands are likely delighted to have royalties' personal support. It's not like she wasn't overly familiar with these sort of business-related details. bet she was just happy that a piano Sylvie collaborated on was that popular. Guess there's no point in overcomplicating our discussion. I recall Sylvie can play the piano really well, right?
はい。ピアニストとしての腕は世界に名だたるほどです。
Okay, that's new. I mean, I guess they were saying that royalty, they learn a lot of things, but the piano is very interesting. Oh yeah, didn't she talk about collaborating with some other people at the school to play music? And then Reina was talking about, you know, obviously doing fashion, and we went to her class, and I think, what did Elle play? Elle played something, I think, too, that they were gonna. Interesting. So maybe I guess royalty really does put they're all into these sort of refined pastimes. Maybe that's how it tends to go.
いえ、趣味というわけではなく、もともとソルティレージュの王室、シスア家の人間は楽団派と呼ばれ、音楽の素養を求められるのです。幼少期よりに英才教育を受けて育つので、シルビー様に限らず、歌や音楽に非凡な才能を持つ方は多いですよ。
Seriously, I had no
ま
idea.
あ中でもシルビー様は環境柄人一倍の努力が必要でしたが、
Nina-chan, was it? What's she good at?
ファミナル様はバレエです。すでにプリマの中に混ざっても遜色ないと言われるほどの踊り手ですよ。
Okay. I mean, that's really cool. Seems like everyone in the group is pretty talented. I remembered right, a prima was a top-ranking ballerina. It's pretty astounding at her age. On the other hand, are there no failures, like anyone without a sense for pitch, for example?
音感がなければ楽器作りやホールデザインなどでどちらにしろ一流とされる水準を果たしています。いわゆる落ちこぼれはおりませんね。能力がなくても他で何かできることを探すのが王室の義務だそうです。
Now, I'm pretty sure Elle is good at some kind of instrument, but I wonder if she's in this. Like, obviously there was a little bit of a touchy subject when we mentioned her family, but I feel like she's got to be maybe in this category. Not to say, like, yeah, that she's inferior in any way. I just think that there's something odd about her situation, something different than the rest of them. Oh, she mentioned that Sylvia had put her ordinary unutilized physical prowess to astounding use just yesterday, too. I guess the lives they led were entirely different from those of us in lower classes.
国民より尊敬されねば王たで仕方はない。これがシスア家の格。否、常識だそうです。だからこそ、私もシルビー様のお力になりたい。シルビー。
Proud to hear her, she whispered beneath her breath. Might be wrong for someone like me who has no interest in music to say, but it made it clear how incredible Sylvia is. Plenty, in fact.
よかった。
Elson looks satisfied. This woman really did put Sylvie first. You know, though, at this rate, today's day is going to score a 0.
なぜです？やはり音楽に興味がないのにピアノの話では退屈でしたでしょうか？
That's not what I mean. I'm on a date with you today. Pointing out Sylvie's attractive points defeats the purpose. You should plan a date that teaches me what's attractive about you, Elsa. Yes, Oro. Yes. Okay. Getting back on track, he's like, let's lock in here.
なるほど。しかし、
I knew you had it in
今
you,
日はも
Oro.
うこのピアノを見て
My
いた
goat.
ことしか考えてこなかったのです。
No way. This is all she had planned for us?
なんとエル選手だいぶ詰めが甘かったようです。
I know, it's so interesting seeing a girl try to plan a date and she only had this
よ
planned.
り前にまずデートとはどんなものかから教えるべきでしたわね。そうね、トラックに激突もしない
He
だろう
didn't crash into a truck.
そうだ。今日は学園の武道場が空いているはずです。フェンシングなどご一緒にいかがでしょう？
I will wholeheartedly have to
で
pass.
は日本らしく柔道とか相撲とか。
Let's stir up its own set of problems if we did that. What the heck were all of her suggestions combat oriented anyways? Imperial Knights apparently had 0 dating experience. Guess I had no choice. Elson, if you don't have anything else planned, would you mind letting me take over from here? I'm saying I'll be the one to escort you.
しかしシルビー様のご命令では
If
私
you
が先導
actually
せね
can, I won't complain.
ばできないです。
What a cutie. I'll be taking the lead from this point on then. Let's have a date that's fun for both of us, Elsa.
こらゲロ何をなさるの
I captured the blonde and silver-haired girls who had been watching us for some time now without even trying to hide. These two can tag along. We'll have more fun if we're together as a group.
でもオーラ今日はあなたとエルの
Stop telling us that it's obviously going to make us anxious. Having the two of you here makes for a nice gimmick. Won't you feel more at ease with these two tagging along than if we were alone too, Elsa?
そうですね。いつもに近いので。
Elsa looked like she had just been rescued.
でも今日はエルとオーラの
You're right, today is our day, which means whatever we want takes highest priority. We won't listen to your opinions, Sylvia, as long as you can spare the time. Join us, okay?
無礼な男ですわね
市松殿、仮にも姫様に向かってそんな。
The two of them snapped at me a bit, but
いいわねその方が面白そうだわご一緒させてもらいましょうか実はさっきのお店気になっていたの
the princess in question was on board, so I had no complaints.
4人で街を流しましょうオーラがトラックにひかれたら困るわ
Huh?
仕方ないですわね
Elsa gave an exasperated sigh, and then she must have noticed that she was back to her usual self and flashed a tiny smile.
あモデルシルビアこんなタイプも出ているのね以前国に贈呈されたものとは微妙に違いますわね形だけね枠に水ならを使っているのは変わってないわ
Once we headed back to the shop from earlier, Sylvia began to prattle on with excitement. Elsa watched over her quietly, but also with amusement. She looks more her usual self when she acts this way, huh? She would warmly watch over those precious to her, all while keeping a level head and preparing for the worst case scenario that could pop up anytime. Maybe she's the older sister or something like that. She definitely kind of acts like she's always like trying to hype her up. But if she was the older sister, wouldn't she be the one that's in line? I guess my guess is they're talking about if you're not suited to something, they're gonna place you somewhere else. So she wasn't suited to being like the next princess, so she got placed as the guard, essentially the person that would watch over her all the time to Sylvie. That this is kind of what's making sense to me. I think they're sisters. I was wondering if they're either sisters or cousins or something related. I think this is her older sister. That's what makes sense to me. That was Elsa in a nutshell. And that's why she has like such admiration for her. Because she's put in a position where she needs to essentially be in charge of her. Sorry to say, but her most appealing traits wouldn't be made clear even if we went out on a sudden date.
かたじけない。今日はお借りしておきながら。
Must have been aware about how confident she was on dates herself and appeared apologetic.
一応昨晩勉強はしたのですが。
Oh, really? When our date was over, she brought up something intriguing. What did you study? Didn't matter what she had studied, but Elsa studying for a date caught my interest.
シルビー様に勧められた漫画をいくつか、あと女性誌も。しかしいずれも難しかった。例えば日本のデートではまずソフトクリームを買って、それを相手の顔面に叩きつけるのが礼儀なのでしょ?
If you actually did that, you get them all sticky and ruin the mood. Nothing you could do that would fix it either.
勉強不足です。
No, you need to change what you're studying because obviously it's not working. Elsa looked dejected. How cute. Then again, it was also my fault for leaving everything to you without coming up with my own ideas.
いえ、今日は私が先導する手はずでしたし。
Even so, a date is something you make together.
ですね。
Although we discussed before, thanks to the watching over Sylvia and Mina-chan setup, Elsa and I were finally able to have a seemingly lighthearted conversation. Only things turned out this way sooner when we were alone, then there would have been nothing greater. I guess talking to her like I did Reina was still the question, though. No surprise there. How did it feel when I was with Reina yesterday again? If I recalled, that was when I realized there was an instrument store off in the
なん
corner.
でしょう。バレッタ？
Sure are. Barrettes, headbands, rings, and necklaces. There's an array of fashion accessories. I checked again, but this was an instrument shop. There were pianos, violins, guitars, and other varieties of instruments, but there was also varnishing oils and cleaning implements for maintenance. About the only other things they sold were music sheets. Why accessories? I gave it a moment's thought, but... Oh, accessories, huh?
ですね。
Must be recycled.
バイオリンの留め具です。
These accessories were made from whatever materials could be salvaged from scrap pianos, violins, and otherwise. I would recommend recycling instruments, since people were prone to having lingering memories of them. They often used quality wood and materials. On a closer look, these headbands were made from black lacquered piano exteriors. In the class, the barrettes were used the bows of
日
violets.
本はユニークな国ですね。楽器をアクセサリーにしてしまうなんて。
Okay. Which faction of Japanese religions do believe souls dwell in objects after all? I didn't think there was a mentality of once something you've used for ages has served its purpose, you may as well process it into something else. Which is really interesting because I've always heard Japanese culture, they don't really make houses to last forever. It's like usually you demolish a house and like rebuild it after a certain period. I don't know how true that is. I've never seen much of that actually happening, but I've heard that's how it is. Since this is a city of instruments, it's especially easy to amass scrap materials. Back in elementary school, I made a wood carving out of old piano parts too.
ああ、見てみたいですね。
I still have a picture, take a look. I opened up the gallery app on my phone. Photo was quite old now and was dated around the time I was in elementary school. I was grateful I could easily store photos from that long ago on a handheld device. This is it.
これはどんぐりですか？
No, it's the Mina bird.
なるほど。言われてみれば休館長のように。
Or Mina bird. You can't see it, can you? I bet you thought, is that seriously an acorn? It's kind of round.
はい。気を使ってどんぐりと例えましたが、ただの長細い球体にしか見えません。
I did originally try to carve a Mina, but the beak plopped off of me. When I tried to fix it, it kept getting smaller and smaller.
このどんぐりのヘタの部分、よく見ると鳥の足のようにも見えますね。
Elson began to howl with laughter. Come on, don't laugh. This was made by an innocent elementary school carver.
すいません。
So I must have nailed her funny bone. The laugh just kept on coming. I'm trying to make her laugh. I never thought it'd be such a hit.
失礼しました。
It's a little surprising as she'd only showed that side of herself for a few brief moments. She could have returned to her usual calm self, but I just scored the greatest fruit of today's date. Elson was pretty cute. That had been made clear. Oh, I know. Why don't I buy you one of these as a present? A certain woman told me that a man buying a lady an accessory is proof of a good date. A headband might not be your thing, huh?
いただけるならありがたくいただきますが。
She always had her hair up, so it'd probably be hard for her to use even if I got her one. Something that it didn't impede her mobility would be best for her. Things jiggled around like necklaces, barrettes, or earrings, which could easily slip out of place were out of the question. That left? How about
ブレスレ
this?
ットですか？
Grabbed a gold-plated bracelet. The best options that would impede her mobility would be a bracelet or a ring. A ring would clearly be embarrassing, so there's about one choice left. What do you say, Elson? Will you accept it?
でもよろしいのですか？
Consider it a present. Then again, I guess Sorta Lee's just the one paying for it, though. I showed off the aforementioned black card. It was sad to say, but my wallet was on the light side today. It was pathetic of me as a man, but
なるほど。ではありがたくいただきましょうか。初デートの記念というやつです。
thanks to that, she accepted the bracelet without any reservations. What do you think?
少々緊張というか落ち着きませんね。こういうものをするのは初めてなので、でも嬉しいです。
I'm glad.
あらかわいい。エロいのがおしゃれなんて珍しいですわね。
おしゃれだなんて。
That was one of the other two, unfortunately, came back and put an end to the good mood we had going. Oh well, it was decent timing. Doing something pretentious like giving her a gift had me feeling pretty odd myself. Thank goodness Elson had accepted it with a
ほ
smile.
らほら、私には
If you want one, buy it yourself. It's your royal family's money. I won't buy it for you, but I want a date with Elson today, you know? I gave gifts to anyone else, it'd be like cheating.
そうね。にしても懐かしいな。リサイクルアクセサリー。
Sylvie picked up a
楽器の
headband.
廃材を使った小物作り。聞いたことはありますけど、見るのは初めてですわね。
Sure, royalty hardly ever scraps instruments in the first place. For a large enough house, you could easily store broken or old items at sentimental value. Part of it could be that it was characteristic of Japan's culture to have tiny
と
homes.
ころで、エロいなのそれ、金属
そうですね。軽いけれど硬いです。
どんな楽器を使ったのかしら。
It occurred to me that the other headbands were mostly made of wood, but this one was made of all metal. Instruments like metal, like cymbals and trumpets, but all you could come up with that could be processed in this shape would be
ピアノ専用
piano wire. Okay. Sylvia promptly
多
answered.
分軸の部分は木でピアノ線を巻きつけてあるの。だから硬くて丈夫でしかも軽いんでしょ。なるほど。メッキで覆ってしまえば同じですものね。
そういえば微妙にデコボコしています。
You really know your stuff, Sylvie.
昔この町に来た時やったことがあるもの。あまりうまくできなかったけどね。ヤスリをかけすぎて表面が毛羽立っちゃって。
She said that while tidying up her golden hair in the headband. When she visited a long time ago, huh? Sylvie giggled with amusement. General mood was the same as usual after that.
にしてもいい天気。こんな日はゆっくり街を流すのもいいわね。
姫様、あまり目立つまでなお慎みを。
そんなに気にしなくてもいいじゃない。
ターミナル様もです。視線が集まっておりますよね。
Princesses were being showered in attention from all sides, and their nightly escort was nothing short of frazzled. Such was the usual sight with a pair of unbridled princesses and a worrywart guard. This was likely Elsan's most natural form. It's unfortunate that she and I only managed to be alone together for one short hour, but I think I liked her better this way.
ちょいとあなた。
Yes? The other princess prodded me with her elbow.
なんだか満足げになさってますけど、あなたこれでよかったみたく思っちゃおりませんわよね。
Huh? What do you mean? As far as I'm concerned, it was worth celebrating if Elsan and Sylvie were having a good time.
困った男ですわ。あなた結局エロいなの司令たるあなたを満足させるべき一日を妨害いたしましたのよ。
That comment really hit me where it hurt.
楽しく過ごすのは結構けれど諸子を貫徹もできず投げ出すようではエロいなの今後のためよろしくなくてよ。
Harsh. I had nothing but good intentions, but she really hit the nail on the head. These girls who went through life shouldering their royal title probably thought of me as being undisciplined or having a lax personality.
なりますわね。こんな男にエロいなはともかくシルビー姉様が影響されてしまっては。こうなったらどうしよう。
Huh? She seemed to have whispered something.
ほらみんなお腹が空かない？
そろそろ昼食にしようと思うのですが、いかがでしょう。
そうですわね。
So the conversation
ご
drifted.
飯どうしましょうか。ねえエル、何にする予定だったの？
はい、日本の政治家がよく利用するという料亭、菊水を利用しようかと。
Ah, politicians, huh? Kikasui. He just dropped one hell of a suggestion. I'm guessing this is like a really like upscale type place. It's the most impressive restaurant in the city.
江戸時代からあるとのことで。
It's been around since the Edo period. You know, we're supposed to go into a place like that.
春から5回ほど行ったわね。美味しかったわ。異色大国日本にふさわしい味でした。
Hey, it might not be a big deal with all of your sensibilities, but I'd be a total fish out of water there. I'd be okay to splurge and go there with a major occasion or whatever, but it wasn't somewhere you just walked into on a random day off. Wait, didn't that place have a dress
ト
code?
ルティレージの名を出せば免除してくれるかと。
Hey, come on, hey. You're gonna make me stick out like a sore thumb, so stop. Elson looked like she didn't understand. I thought this for some time now, but she wasn't as bad as Sylvie. She seriously didn't know how the world worked.
でも今は薬の気分じゃないわね。あ、ねえ2人ともここなんていいんじゃない？
Yeah, Sylvie pointed to a shop we happened to walk past. It's a ramen restaurant. How tidy it was, there was an excessive amount of blurbs about his home style and genuine Hakata style selections. It was a sort of restaurant where old employees wore t-shirts and used towels as bandanas. This isn't nearly as fancy as Kikusui.
ラーメン。
Oh
今
my
度は
gosh.
ラーメン屋さんで食べてみたか
They're
った
just on like a binge of carbs. I'm like, all they've been eating is cup noodles yesterday, right? I think they had it twice because they said they were going to eat it again after we parted ways. And now we're going to go to a ramen restaurant. So just carbs and starches.
昨日のカップ麺には大変驚かされましたわ。3分であんな味ができるなんて。こちらも興味があります。
Maybe they didn't end up having some after we parted, but it sounded like they were going to. Two princesses were totally into
日
the
本の
idea.
ラーメンは有名ですわ。友人のハリウッド女優も絶賛していました。ねえ。言ってもメロンパンより美味しいとは到底思ってなかったけれど。
Oh my gosh, you're so obsessed with melon bread.
オーロにラーメンをもらってから気になって気になって。
Makes me want to eat some.
ね、いいでしょ？
Sure is great, huh? I don't know which ramen that's supposed to be. They censored it, but I'm like trying to think like I'd have to go look at ramen names. Look at the list of blurbs. Fresh straight from Hakata, authentic low hydration noodles, special black board tonkatsu stock, and Inner Mongolian mineral salt. Uses 8 vegetable varieties sent from Sapporo. Restaurants that shouted these sorts of sale pitches from the rooftops were generally pretty iffy. There are better restaurants in the area like Azayaka. That's one really well
いい
known.
ですねラーメン。シルビー様ご推薦とあらば私も楽しみです。
Elson at the final save day and looked like Sylvie had already put the idea in her head. Well, I wasn't absolutely opposed or anything.
はい、ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございま
We left the restaurant.
ごちそうさま。すごいお店だったわね。はい。入った瞬間から違ったわ。見たエル、あの針が。
はい。自身の問いかけに耳を貸すのが人生の根源。不覚にもドキリとさせられました。
何かを食べる。その一時にも自身に問いかけ、答えを出すことが大事。勉強に
Were
な
they
ったわ。
reading the informative posters? Oh my
店員の
gosh.
着ていたシャツにも感銘を受けました。笑顔100回、100回の幸せがついてくる。日本には笑う角には福来たるという言葉があるの。いつも笑顔を忘れないでいたいわね。
You want to see lots of people smile? Come to America. You always see people smiling here.
メニューも5ページありましたが、すべてに良い確認が記してありました。
I'm not saying people here in America are always happy, but people are, for the most part, pretty friendly. That changes though when you're driving. People are terrible drivers here, and will make you think that they're terrible people as well because of the way they choose to operate a vehicle. 5-page menu had a fine number of sayings
4
too.
ページ目などは特に心が洗われましたわ。失敗はどんな食事よりあなたを成長させる。胸が晴れ晴れとしました。
Oh my gosh, it's just a bunch of cheesy sayings.
2人とも一番の言葉
Ah,
を
yes, the
思い出し
best
たの
ones are in
ね
the bathroom, actually. That's so true.
こんな言葉、今日を楽しく過ごすことが未来すべての幸せ。ああ、素敵。
Stecky.
じんときました。
でも味は豚の方が美味しかったわ。
ただただしょっぱいラーメンでしたね。
あの小麦をそのまま噛んでいるような麺はどうにかなりませんでしたの？
So they were sitting here glazing the restaurant because of a few of the sayings that are on there, but then when it came to the actual food, they're like, ah, no, it wasn't that good. People become so fussy that ramen restaurants with bizarre flavors are popping up all over. The market for universally agreeable ramen is being decimated by cup noodle companies. Those places wouldn't prosper without an unusual bit of flair.
でも楽しかったわ。じゃあ次のお店行きましょうか。オーロの言ってた鮮やかってお店、 行ってみましょう。その後はメロンパンよ。レーナに新しいお
Oh
店
my
を聞いたの。
gosh, she still wants to eat.
なんとデニッシュ風メロンパンですって。
What happened to this being our
野
day?
球の始球式には間に合うかしら。そこの球場のご飯も食べてみたいのだけど。本日は胃薬必須ですわ。
Trying out a variety of restaurants was apparently an inevitable outcome when you're out and about with Sylvie. Really got a
Sylvia-sama,
weird,
時間ギリギリです。
weird idea of what we want to do today. Sylvia-san, it's nearly time.
はいはい。
あげてください。
いってらっしゃいませ。
Elson saw off the ascending helicopter with a polite bow of her head. She stuffed her face in the very last second. Our dining tour got cut into her travel time to get to the baseball arena by car, so she had to fly
お
there
姉様は
instead.
健談家でいらっしゃるから。
She just got picked up by like a Uber helicopter. So that's fine with me as long as she's able to maintain that thin waistline. It was rough on me though.
私も少々食べ過ぎました。
あ、皆様、でしたら私も。
いりませんわ。迎えは来ております。
Limousine came along with a snap of Mina-chan's fingers.
エロいのはそのゲロを送って差し上げなさい。
はい。
We were alone again on the way back. Feels weird for you to walk me
付
home.
き合わせたのはこちらなのです。これくらいさせてください。
Go along with it if she insisted. Okay, then once we turned here, the door would be straight ahead. Is it okay if we take a small detour? I could use some exercise to walk off all that food. Our walk continued like so. The mountain path was a bit dark at sunset, but it was cool and easy to navigate through. No one around made this the perfect spot. A certain someone had described their golden time as gazing out at the sun as it set on the lake. Our stomachs had finally settled. We were both comfortable.
本日は大変失礼しました。付き合わせておいて、ろくにエスコートもできず。
No. Elson remained her usual prim and proper self until the end, but I looked at the golden bracelet that adorned the back of her wrist. It was a fun day. We seem to like giving out gold jewelry because I have a feeling this is not the first time we've done this.
そうですね。
Elson's smile. How many times has she revealed that smile to me today? It's obvious she had fun today, too.
本当は私が気候を楽しませねばならなかったのに。
Ah, don't worry about it. We had a good time. We got to learn some more about music. I can't say it was like my ideal fun date, but it was fine. Especially, I don't know. Elle is a very difficult girl to kind of get to know. So this was kind of our little bit of an awkward segue into that. I feel like we did get to know her a little bit more, but definitely still some secrets there. No need to entertain each other on it. No. You need to entertain each other on a date. I had a lot of fun today.
やはりシルビー様はさすがですね。市松殿の特性をあったその場で見抜いていたなんて。
Best
あな
qualities.
たは周りの人間を楽しませることに特別な才能があるようです。
Trained my heart skip a beat. A talent for entertaining those around me. It couldn't be. No, I don't have an knack for that sort of thing. It's the popular social butterfly types that have that sort of skill. I didn't. I shouldn't have such a talent compared to my classmates who were off to the center of attention. I always aired close to the back of the room for as long as I could remember. More importantly, I only brought people
ど
misfortune.
うかされましたか？
Ooh, are we getting Oro backstory right now? There was no reason to complain to Elson about it. Better keep it to myself. Sunset sure is pretty. I changed the subject.
はい。
Luckily, Elson was amenable enough that I could easily gloss over things if I put my mind to it.
シルビー様に何度も聞いてはいましたが、浜松湖に落ちる夕日は綺麗です。日本で見たゴールデンタイム。本当に綺麗。
Golden time, huh? Actually brought Ria back to my mind. Specifically her vantage point next to the water tank on the school roof. The view up there was much more captivating. I'd love to show it to Elson someday, but if I was to keep it a secret, so I guess it wasn't meant to be. Let's keep that spot our little secret. Ooh, I wonder if in her route we could show it to her, though.
昔
A long time ago.
シルビー様がこの国に来た時見たそうなんです、この景色を。
Yeah.
その時のことを国に帰って何度も言うので、私の日本のイメージはまずこの光景からです。仲のいい男の子と一緒に湖畔を駆け回ったこの景色から。
My shoulders twinged, a reaction almost to fear, even though there was no need to be afraid. Still, I couldn't help it, as it was a topic that hit really close to home. Hey, Elson, can I ask what happened back then? May as well ask while we're at
は
it.
い、小さい頃の姫様はよく私と同胞していましたので、その時に何度も。
I don't know, this is, buying into my theory that she might be the older sister here. I'm gonna ask about the circumstances of which you were told. Sylvie came to this country a long time ago,
はい
right?
日本はソルティレージュにとって友好国ですので、数年に一度は来訪の予定がありますが、
Okay, so she would have visited every few years.
幼い頃
Interesting.
一度1ヶ月以上の長期にわたって滞在なされたことがあります。
Long-term stay. It might be different if it were for a brief visit, but she should have lots of free time on our long-term stay. Did she ever play for local kid or
そ
anything?
れはもちろん、そうして現地に触れるのも友好の一環です。
Were those like school visits or other formal occasions? Or did she make friends normally and play with them? If it was the former, it would directly clash with my memories. At the very least, I doubt she was allowed to play at the lake where she would have fallen in and drowned. But if it were the latter, that would coincide with the girl in my memories. The girl with blonde hair in Sylvie's past. Was it the former or the latter?
もちろん
Which was it?
前者です。滞在とは申せ、王族は一挙一動が公務です。スケジュールには学校から養育施設、宗教施設などあらゆる施設への来訪が組まれていました。遊んだとはそういう意味です。
It made sense. There's no way something so convenient could ever.
がしかし、市松殿もすでにシルビー様の性格はご存知のはず。よく抜け出されて慌てたものだというのは、現在も護衛にあたる騎士員の皆の語り草です。公
Then
務を抜け出しては外を駆けずり回って、現地の子たちとよく遊んでらっしゃったそうですよ。時には危険な遊びもいくつか。
sounds like it could be. Possibility was still there then, and
特に当時はこの辺りで町内会のキャンプ会をしていたとかで、そこに勝手に混ざっていたのだそうです。
she would blend in with the local camping party.
会の方々も相手がシルビー様と会って無下には追い出せず、いつの間にか参加者みたいに遊んでいたとか。
Not only did the time and place match up, but Elson just added another connection to the mix, the neighborhood association's camp, one I had taken part in long
本
ago.
当に何度も何度も話してくださいました。本来叱らねばならない立場の私が口も出せないくらい。でも仕方ないか。初恋の方との思い出だそうですから。
And her first love, you say? Oh,
どうかされましたか？顔が赤いようですが。
it's because of the
そうですか。
sunset. Managed to play it off, thank goodness. Sounds like that could have been us and her. Hung on until the sun had finally set and made our way to the dorms. Then Elson,
はい、
she ended up walking back to the dorm and the limousine was waiting outside to pick her up. Today was fun.
いえ、こちらこそ。
The day ended on a
で
good
はま
note.
た明日学校で。あ、何か困ったことがあればいつでも連絡してください。貴公の生活は我々で責任を持ちますゆえ。
I will. Now that the magic of our day had begun to fade, Elson had started to return to her usual manner of speech. Today was fun in its own right, but maybe it was better this way.
そうだ、食費ですが、朝夕が計上されていませんが大丈夫でしょうか？ちゃんと食べていますか？
She must have checked the black card's statement. Sounded like Elson had a grasp of my lifestyle to some extent. Yeah, those meals are free, so I haven't been spending anything. Jokosaki wouldn't let me eat anything else, to be precise, but I would keep that to myself. I've been buying cup noodles up in bulk too, you know, what we had yesterday.
でしたら安心ですね。
No, I'm just being bullied. Don't worry about
昨日の
it.
カップ麺、あまりにも多かったので確認してしまいました。10個も買ったのですか。
She'd apparently looked up the credit card statement. It's always worthwhile to stock up on stuff like that too.
生活の知恵ですね。そうだ、それに付随して
Yes?
天下というのが買ったものの中にありましたが、あれはどんな商品なので？
Ah, don't worry about it. It's a toy. Just thinking of taking a trip down memory lane.
そうですか。あ、おもちゃくらいならいくらでも使っていただいて結構です。
Can do. He's like, all right, all right. We said goodbye. It was a toy, right?
市松先輩、おかえりなさい。
Yep, I'm home. Akane-chan came rushing over to
今
greet
日のお買
me.
い物はどうでしたか？何かいいもの？手頃ですね。
I didn't buy
ウィン
anything.
ドウショッピングというやつですね。
Something like that. I get an Elson accessory as a present, but I decide to leave that part out.
差し支えなければお聞きしたいんですけど。
What's up?
先輩が今日一緒にいた方って。
Well, yeah.
それはもしやデートですか？
Yeah, something like that.
おー、先輩大人ですね。
She looked pretty worked up for whatever reason. Girls her age probably love topics like these. Mind if I head back to my room?
はい、お引き止めしてすみませんでした。
No, it's
お
fine.
疲れ様でした。
I said goodbye to Akane-chan and went back to my room. Oh my gosh, you're still here! Did you just take a nap the whole day? Woke up to the sleeping girl acting like she owned the place.
何人の部屋入ってんだこら。
What do you mean your room?
あれでもそっか。お前の部屋じゃん。そっか。疲れたから横になってたら俺寝ようと思えば無限に寝れるから。
That just means you're dead. It sounds like she's
そうな
depressed.
る前には起きるのが日課だけどな。
You were that tired if you were doing anything too strenuous.
日頃の疲れだよ、うるせえな。
You had the same nasty attitude and sharp tongue as ever. Come on, this was my room. Just totally wasted the fun time I had with Sylvia and Mina-chan, the great mood I've been having from the day I wrapped up so elegantly with Elson.
くそかい。
Shoved her hand under her shirt and scratched her chest. I was a little ticked about ruining the mood for my date, but having her suddenly show off her collarbone wasn't too bad.
見てんじ
I
ゃ
feel
ねえ
like
よ
we've just had
変態
this conversation. You're the one showing yourself off.
スケベ
All men are like
喧嘩
that.
野郎。
What? Stop that. That one goes too
この
far.
チェーンでかすぎて微妙なんだよな。 新しく買い替えようかな。
Chain off her pendant had suddenly dug into her skin while she was asleep and she repositioned
で
it.
デートはどうなった？
Ah, it went well. We ate
うー
ramen.
ん
After that, we watched the sunset together. Yeah, I do feel like that we've gotten closer.
夕日
I didn't tell her about you know where. Don't worry.
ならよし。
Turned on the TV. Baseball was on, but that said, I had no interest in the match itself. I just happened to tune during the interval between innings as it went to commercial. We're transitioning to ads to display today's highlights.
今
Oh, yeah,
年
'cause
日
we need
本
to see
一
her
の
do
チ
the
ームを
pitch.
決める本ゲームは華やかな幕開けとなりました。
They were hosting replays of the baseball opening ceremony. It was a shot of the ball Sylvie threw, and it landed directly into the catcher's glove. Looked like a perfect pitch. Hanging out with her yesterday was worth it. Ria,
シルビーってお前らのクラスのだよな。
even a suspended girl from another class knew about her.
帰るわ。世話になったな。
Ria indifferently headed to her room, although she could be awfully brazen. On closer look, Ria had washed the cup she used as an ashtray and even folded the clothes I'd worn to bed, albeit haphazardly. I could tell she's being considerate in her own subtle way. She was also curious about how my day had gone. Maybe I could consider her a good neighbor, tentatively anyways. Yeah, I don't think she's a bad girl. Just,
金色ラブリッチェ。
just maybe a little bit, been a little bit of a rebel. I think with that, I think this is a good place to stop. I don't know. The date was a little interesting. Wasn't quite how I thought it was gonna go. I can't say it was my favorite date. I know he was really happy about it, but I was hoping for an actual date. I knew it was going to be a little bit of shenanigans just because this was just kind of like a forced event that randomly happened. It was very much, for the most part, a filler, I think. Like, yes, we did learn some things about the characters. I think just because it's a filler doesn't mean we can't have a little bit of plot, but I think for the most part, didn't quite go as good as I had hoped. I wanted some more moments with Elle, but we only got a little bit. So hopefully in the future we'll get to know her a little bit better. I wanted to know her even more. I think our date with Reina went a lot better. I could definitely see after that interaction why a lot of people would like Reina. She seems fun. She's always a good time. But I think we'll end it off here. We did find out some more. I'm thinking Elle is the bigger sister, and that's due to how complicated, royalty can be. I think she ended up being more of her like guard and advisor than she ended up being, the princess herself. I think as she was older, I feel like she should have been first in line, but it didn't seem to end up that way for her, which is fine. I'm not going to judge, but we'll hopefully find out some more about that in the future. It seems like we knew Sylvie from her time previously in Japan when she was a kid. It seemed like we made some kind of promise to, I don't know if it was to marry her, I guess. So I'm positive we'll find out something about that later. I wonder if being in a relationship with her, she's royalty and we're a commoner, I'm sure there's going to be some drama involving that, because usually that's pretty frowned upon, I believe. Usually it's like royalty has to marry royalty. So it's going to be a little bit difficult, I'm sure, because we aren't. And maybe even the case with Elle as well, that might be kind of a point of contention, since she is kind of this upper ranking. So we'll have to see. I definitely think like our relationship with Reina might be a little bit easier. And Akane, I'm sure won't be too crazy, even though we have to deal with first year class C who wants to castrate us all the time and hates us. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed that, and I will be seeing you guys in the next episode. Have a good one.